Well, it's time for me to share my opinions on the internet. So, yeah. The Pokemon Presents came out yesterday. And yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff. And I want to talk about a couple things in particular. And those things involve the Paradox version of Suicune, aka Walking Wake. So, if you know anything about Paradox Pokemon, or seen any videos online of them, then you should know that people are saying they're, imagined Pokemon, like the fake. It is not clear what they are. Personally, I want them to be from the past and future. I just think that's cool. And yeah, I just want to, theorize and see whether, well, at least see if Walking Wake is from the future or past. Or, well, past. It can only be from the past. But yeah, that's what this video is, and yeah, let's just talk about it. So, I do think that Walking Wake existed. Because, yeah. And, yeah. Right away, I'm gonna get something off the table, like, and that people will probably bring up, and that's the burnt tower. If Suicune, Raikou, and Entei were revived by Ho-Oh, how can there be a past prehistoric version of Suicune? And the answer is simple. There's multiple of those trios that exist, but that specific pair were revived. They're like the main, special ones of the group. And yeah, this is also kind of confirmed by the fact that Heath's, the actual image that we saw before, Pokemon Presents came out, had the actual, Paradox fusion of the legendary beasts actually drawn. And that thing was drawn 200 years ago, while I believe the bell tower incident happened well before that. So how'd the Imaginator, the one who drew it, even come up with the legendary beasts before the legendary beasts actually exist? If that makes sense. And in short terms, the legendary beasts that burned in the tower and were revived came after the Imagined Pokemon page. So yeah. And going back to that Imagined page, which I'm assuming I'm showing now, Walking Wake does not really look anything like it. And I think this is a strong point in the real potential of this. The page itself that's drawn is called Imagined Pokemon. And, well, that's just it. It's imagined. It's what the designer thought that they'd look like. They probably saw the trio together and thought, hey, they're probably related. What if in the past they were all one Pokemon? So we get that. And I'm not going to talk about the robot ones in this video. Maybe if you all want a video about it, I can make it. The robot ones are easier to explain because, well, they're robots. They're man-made. Well, the past ones are harder to explain. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. So, I think this does prove that Suicune actually existed in the past. Or at least Walking Wake did. Because, well, obviously, every Pokemon probably had like a paradox or past form, a prehistoric form. Like, every Pokemon probably had that. Like, the only ones who didn't are legendaries, most likely. Like, Pokemon like Regirock, Steel, Ice, Regigigas, Arceus, all of them. Okay. They all didn't have paradox forms. But regular Pokemon, I believe, did. And so it would make sense if Raikou, Suicune, and Entei, existed before the Bell Tower. They would exist in the past as well, and thus would be ready to go for the past to present situation. So yeah. But one thing I want to talk about, and this is strange to me. Why were they just released in raids? Like, no one acknowledges it's not an event, it's just, oh hey, these things are in raids. Go catch them. And I feel like I have a solution to this. That being the third legendary. So, it's my belief that the third legendary can still bring these paradox Pokemon to the future. Or future to past. Whatever. But yeah. I believe Sada and Turo did make a time machine using the legendary's energy. They brought some Pokemon back, but that wouldn't explain the Great Tusk and Iron Treads in Heath's time. But it makes sense if the Pokemon itself brought those Pokemon from the past or future to the present. And one way they could do that is through Terra Crystals. And they could have done that with Suicune, as well as Virizion, even after the Professor's time machine, doesn't work anymore. Like, the legendary Pokemon still has the power to do that, so it just does it. And the thing about this, and this just came to me, that Terrapagos, the third legendary, was revealed at the same time that the Paradox Suicune and Virizion were, able to be encountered in raids. Literally the same day. So, wouldn't that be a coincidence of that happening? Or would that be a planned event? I don't know. I'm just a guy who has thoughts on his mind about these Pokemon and wants to make a video about it. So yeah, I do think that these Pokemon are from the past / future, and the legendary Pokemon somehow, using its power, is able to bring these Pokemon from the past or future to the present, potentially using the Terra Crystals down in Area 0. And you can dispute me in the comments, you can explain how I'm wrong in many ways, and yeah, if you want to, say your theories, leave them in the comments. I would love to read them, see your thoughts on this. yeah. I have other thoughts and theories about the DLC. Like, why is the whole thing labeled Treasures of Area Zero? When, one, we're going away from Paldea, and two, we're, well, yeah, going away from Paldea. Like, is my understanding that Area Zero is in the middle of that region? And why would, like, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, if you want to hear more about the presents and my theories about it, leave them comments. And that's gonna be it for me, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.